Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to this video which is part 5 of the Ocarina of Time 3-Heart run. If you're wondering why I sound a little bit different, which I hope you guys are, because if not that'd be pretty weird if you haven't noticed that yet, but there's also probably no audio in the background, I probably muted it. I recorded a crap ton of parts, and due to the fact that I changed the settings for part 5 through who knows when, the audio for those is going to be a lot different than the audio from the previous parts. Basically what I'm trying to say is you can't hear me at all. And there was really no other way I thought I could do this, because there's no way I can just leave it like it was, because if I tried, then you guys wouldn't hear me. I'd probably get a copyright claim more serious than the ones I've gotten so far. And so this was my alternative. Hopefully, I've never used the internal mic on this laptop. Hopefully, it's not too bad. But if it is, I'm sorry. There's just nothing I can do about it. Sorry, I'm trying to watch this thing. Let's see if I can lower the record level. Guess not till it's over. Which would really suck if I screw up the audio for this part again after screwing it up earlier when I recorded it. I think the thing that sucks most about that is the fact that that won't be able to be fixed for, I think, I got to part 15, I think. So the next 11 parts are going to be like this. Granted, that day I think I stopped at part 8, because that's when we turn into Adult Link. So hopefully, the setup was better for 8 through 15. If not, we're really in a tough spot, and I'm going to be honest, it would make me not want to finish this at all. Because that's like 11 parts of screwed up audio. That's 5 weeks, 6 weeks basically, of screwed up audio where I'm going to have to audio over them. So I guess I'll do like I normally do in the last part. We got the Lens of Truth, and that was pretty much it. I think we had the Goron bracelet, and we entered Dodongo's cavern, and that was about all we could accomplish. But for this part, we do get the bomb bag. Granted, I guess it's a spoiler alert at this point. Kind of weird how this is going to have to work out, but what can you do? But yeah. We get the bomb bag, and I believe, if memory recalls correctly, because I haven't rewatched it yet, we get all the way to where you fight the boss, I believe. So I think we finished the dungeon in this part in a crazy twist of fate. But that's what I'm thinking. This dungeon wasn't that bad. And as I was mentioning in my original audio, I think this dungeon, it's a good dungeon for Young Link, but it's a dungeon that doesn't really quite age that well in terms of repeated play. Basically, once you've beaten this dungeon once, you really don't want to do it again. There are 2 cool moments off the top of my head, one of which being when you use the bomb to blow up the stairs. That part was pretty cool. And the only other cool part that I can think of is when you drop the bombs in the eyes in the cave I'm scrolling off, at the beginning of the dungeon, and I thought that part was pretty cool. But aside from that, nothing else in this dungeon really sticks out that much, aside from losing your Deku shield for the first time, which I think everybody had happen. Maybe it was just me for being stupid, but so much of this dungeon, it's a lot of dungeons. Okay, I think the problem with this game is that it wasn't so much an action. It wasn't so much a puzzle game. It was more action-adventure. And thus, once you beat a dungeon, probably like 3 times, you know everything you're going to do, so there is no puzzle to even, like, debate at this point. So you basically go through the dungeon fighting the enemies. And for that, I think some dungeons on this game don't quite age that well, while others age really gracefully. But that's just my thought. I was checking to see if this thing changed color, if I got too loud, or if it was just always red. Because it looks like it's flashing orange and red, which got me thinking that that's what it's doing. But yeah, we're looking for the map right now in the video. Realistically, I highly doubt anybody's going to really like these videos because of the fact that the audio sucks so much. Because it's a lot harder. Like when you're playing the game, it's pretty easy to just talk. But when you're not playing the game, you're going back on it and you're playing. It's a lot harder to say anything relatively interesting at all. That's why I think it's easier to just do it while you're doing it. The map's there, which we needed. Because the map's helpful and just about... No, it's not really that helpful, but I guess it's nice to have on the screen. But yeah, because this dungeon has that one room. Oh, it actually doesn't. I take that back. But yeah, I believe we do get the compass, because I was like, well, we might as well. We just got the map. Which, granted, I don't know why I did that. I think in hindsight, I was figuring we would have time. We wouldn't have time to beat the dungeon in one swoop. That we would have to come into part 6 and finish up the dungeon from after we got the bomb bag to the end of the dungeon. But in reality, the dungeon was a lot shorter than I was thinking it was. And because of that, we were able to beat the entire dungeon in one part, minus the Lord Dodongo fight, which, realistically, I mean, there was no way we were going to get that done in one part. And that's a lot to ask for one part. And as you can see, I have a little bit of trouble with this fight. I don't quite know why I was, but obviously I was, and I have to try again, which really sucks. Because, that adds extra length. But I think I realized that I could just shield him back. He's the only enemy in the room. I think there's a gold skulltula in this room, actually. But I don't get it, because at this point in the game, we aren't really caring about the gold skulltulas. There's really no concern when all you get for getting all 100 of them is a rupee. And by that point, you don't need rupees, because you've done everything you need to do. Cool guys, don't look at explosions, kids. But, yep, and these stairs, there's actually a really quick way to get up them. Because if you do it the normal way, it takes forever because Link has to climb up all of them. But if you backflip, as I'm doing here, you pretty much fly up them without any issue whatsoever. Which is always pretty cool, because who likes taking forever climbing? I know I don't. And with that red rupee, we pretty much maxed out our rupees. And I believe even to this point, we're still maxed out. Now, there's another gold skulltula in this room. Behind where the stairs are. You have to come in after you beat the dungeon, so you can kind of see the hole back there, which I had never noticed. But you have to come back into the dungeon, and you have to do it after you beat it, so that way the stairway thing goes back up. And if you come up, because there's a point in the dungeon where you get to switch, because you have to switch, the pillar goes all the way up to the top. You can take that up to the top. And when you do, it'll enable you to come up behind the stairs. And so the stairs will be there. And I think you just climb up them, and you'll get to the hole. I don't know, I haven't done it in a while. I did it when Ocarina of Time 3DS came out. So God, that's been like 4 years ago. Which is crazy if you think about it. But yeah, we got the map, we got the compass. And I think at this point we were making better time than I was expecting. But I was still... I think I was picturing we could get, to hit that switch. Or maybe a little further. Because I wasn't really thinking we could get done this dungeon that fast. This dungeon, it isn't quite long. But there's so many rooms in it where it kind of takes a while. Like, this room, for instance. I've played this game, God, at least like a dozen to 2 dozen times. And I still cannot do this. This room, I remember being in this room doing the recording, and it sucked. I got stuck repeatedly. So I know that's coming. But yeah, if you are watching the video and you're still entertained, for one, which you'll feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe, all that good jazz, which I know you guys already do. You guys are relatively decent with the liking and commenting. Well, not commenting, but the liking. And I mean, I guess people have subscribed. At the time of this recording, I have 43. So you guys are doing a good job on the subscribing front. But the liking and commenting doesn't happen as much as I want it to happen. But feel free to ask me a question on my Ask FM page. You can see I'm starting to fail at this, because I do want to do the Q&A at the end of every month. So I think it was January 31st. Maybe it was like the 30th, because I moved the date of it around if there was an established video series on that day. Basically, if it was a Wednesday, no, it was a Thursday or a Saturday, I think. Those are the days where I'd be putting them up, something like that. I haven't looked at the grand schedule in a while, so I don't really quite know, to be honest. Sorry, guys. But, as I was about to say before I started trailing off on that tangent, which I'm very prone to do, what game do you guys want me to play next? And I know that's kind of weird, being as you're only seeing part 5, but I haven't finished like 15 at this point. So I figure I'd get a jump on the recording of the next game. And really, the game I was thinking about doing, and look, I'm failing again, was Final Fantasy X. Because I don't want to do any more Nintendo games. Nintendo, you done screwed the pooch on this one, and really, you've really upset me with that. But back to the subject of the video, I was debating doing Final Fantasy X because it's another one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. But at the same point, it's also a really cool game, and it's not Nintendo, which is always nice. And you can get it for the PS4, which means we would actually have true HD graphics when we put those up, which I know it excites everybody, that they get to see me playing a game in full HD. You can name your characters, so we can always drop in the everybody's favorite catchphrase, the "Did you see what DeAndre did?" We can name like Bahamut that or something cool. I think it would fit the spot, but I don't really know if you guys are interested in me playing that. I was also thinking about getting Final Fantasy VII, which, I'm just going to say this, guys, I've never finished Final Fantasy VII. I don't think I've ever even gotten off Disc 1. So I'm thinking if I ever did do a live stream or something to that effect, that would be a better opportunity than right now to do that. That way, you guys could comment and tell me where to go instead of me flailing around like an idiot. Because, like on this game, I know exactly where I'm going all the time, and there's no way around it. I've played it so much. But Final Fantasy VII wouldn't have that. I was also debating doing Final Fantasy VIII, but I don't quite know how I would do it, because I was thinking that it was transferred over to the PS4 store, and it is not. Final Fantasy VII is on the PS4 store, but 8 and 9 are not, which, to be honest, kind of pisses me off, but more to the point, it looks like I wouldn't be able to do 8 or 9, which, in my hierarchy, it's like 10, 8, 9, and then 10, 2, and then 7 slides in after that. And then after that, I think I played 12, and I couldn't get into it. But that was about as far as my list goes. That's another thing I was thinking about doing. I was thinking maybe I should go back and play all of the Final Fantasy games. But due to the fact some of them are Nintendo, that might be a little bit of an issue, because I'm being serious when I put that ban on Nintendo games, because that made me very mad. But see, we are, 14 minutes through this video, and we've already found the bomb bag. And I think at this point, I realized that I was going to be able to beat the dungeon, or at least get to King Dodongo in this part, and because really after this there isn't that much to do. There's dropping the bombs in the eyes, and the little side room back there. And see, this was a switch I was talking about earlier, because now you can ride that platform up, so you can run all the way around the dungeon. Well, you jump on the platform, ride all the way around the dungeon, and then go back to the room where you drop the stairs down, and they will reset back to their normal position. If you were wondering why we have the Lens of Truth, which would be a fair question, to be honest, we did the well already. I don't know if people have been keeping up or what, but we done did the well, and that was a few parts. Last part, actually, I think. But that was a beautiful save, because if we would have fallen down, it wouldn't have been that bad. Because I think, yeah, I believe in a second I decided to go open the treasure chest and then drop the bomb in personally. But this treasure chest, I think it has 5 rupees right now. But if you I'm sorry, I'm trying to think here. If you don't burn your Deku shield, well, if you do burn it, there will be a Deku shield in there, I believe. I haven't burned my Deku shield in a few years. But at this point, I think I decide, screw it, I will just jump down there. Because it's a really nice way to make this a lot easier. It's to just drop down there. That way you don't waste all your bombs. And there's a way to slide into the mouth when I think you blow up one. But I've only been able to do it once. But even then, I think it was because the thing was opening and it was easier. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Long time ago. But yeah, back to the ideas for videos. I was thinking about doing the Final Fantasies, which would be pretty fun, I think. I was also thinking about doing Dark Cloud, if there would be an interest in that. I've never actually beaten the game. I typically only beat like the first dungeon, and then I call it quits. I think I only beat the first dungeon once because of how hard the game was, for me at least. Because you figure, I mean, I'm 21 now. You figure, back then, I was probably like 8. I think we had the strategy guide, too. And I just never could do it. Which, I mean, it's whatever. But I was thinking about that, and then doing it more as like a blind playthrough. Because this game isn't really a puzzle game. It's more, I don't know what the genre would be called, but like Mystery Dungeon, if you've never played the Dark Cloud games. Or at least Dark Cloud 1 was. I never played Dark Cloud 2. There were a lot of games I was considering playing. So if you're watching this and you have an idea for a game to play, and you've stuck around for 17.5 minutes, which, for one, mad props to you. I don't think I would have, but thank you for sticking around. But if you have, feel free to comment with whatever game you think I should play next. Keep in mind, I've kind of set up a no Nintendo ban, because they've been trying to monetize these videos because of the audio, and that was my big thing. I wasn't going to monetize gameplay videos, because for one, really these are more of like labor of love videos, if you want to call it that, where really I don't gain anything from doing them. It's just because I like playing the game, and then I'll have gameplay footage later on. But yeah, and then Nintendo's trying to monetize my videos because they've gotten like 1 or 2 views, and it's just ridiculousness. But if you stand on the switch on that block we just destroyed, oh snap, we fight the Dodongo in this part. But if you stand on it and then get blown up by the bomb and it kills you, Link will fall down to the bottom, and then when the Dodongo does the scream, here it's about to come up because he's almost done walking. But here it comes. He's like, whoa, and Link falls down to the ground because he's dead. That's pretty cool. Like, the video is called Link Has a Heart Attack. And this fight is stupid easy, and watch this. Jump slash with a Deku stick does 4 times damage of a Kokiri sword hit. So, just doing it a few times kills him. I think it's twice, to be honest. Making this one of the quickest, easiest to beat boss fights ever. Like, I seriously cannot think of a boss fight in the Legend of Zelda games, any of them, that are that easy. And I guess that's because, they had just started transferring the 3D, and because of that, some things were going to be easier than others, and I don't think they really thought about people using the Deku sticks like that, but what can you do? I guess I'm done talking for now, so if you've enjoyed the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz, y'all know the routine. And make sure to watch the next few videos. Hopefully the audio will be fixed after part 8, but if not, who knows. But anyway, I'm just about out, so peace out, skillets.